application that would address everything building-wise in this time period. I'm not saying that we need to rule it out by any stretch. It's something that we need to continually consider and that we need to look at and possibly enact for 18-19. But that would give us a year to plan with the park district about before school, after school, busing back and forth. You know what I mean? It would give us a year to get the classrooms, get the numbers, you know what I mean? Have a plan, be able to present. And I think that was the piece that was missing 6 years ago that infuriated me the most and bothered me the most, is that nobody gave me a plan. And I think the community were able to present a plan of how we're going to transition to grade centers, what it's going to look like, so on and so forth. Given concrete numbers with how many students would be in a class, how many, you know, it would be easier for the community to accept.
We just made a small time change, started school early, how that, drove
That was
people
less
out.
than a month.
But we pulled it together, we got criticized, but we had a plan in place. We had an after-school program that addressed those that had siblings that were in a junior high that came out of school later. We had them in a holding pattern or holding area until the older sibling came out. I mean, I think this district, we've proven, we've shown that if we really put it to pen and paper, we could make this work.
I would agree with Christian. It's really a business decision. I mean, it's $300,000. It's $300,000 of more efficiencies in making sure our kids have the same experience when it comes down to with all the different programs that they have. And so that's the human side of it. I understand. It's going to be difficult, but the bottom line is that our community does not want to pay for it. It's very simple. It came out loud and clear. At least that's the message I got from the committee. This recommendation was to do the minimum. I hate to say it, but in a pharmaceutical company, just say, hey, just do the minimum in research. They say, no, how much the most I could do so we can develop something. Those are the things out there that we're talking about. Our community, they love all the programs. They just don't want to pay for them, and it's fine. It's their right. It's our right. But if we want to preserve that, and we want our children to be well-rounded, we have the opportunity to give that to them at a $300,000 cheaper cost.
How can we keep saying, children are, we have to keep the children in mind, keep the children in mind, but it's a business decision just about money. I mean, it's not the same thing.
But to keep the children in mind that they have the more programs available to them where they'll be more well-rounded.
But for that first year, they can keep all those programs and then we can continue.
But then the
to
taxpayer has to
things.
absorb an extra $300,000 in expenses where we could have been more efficient.
But we might be more efficient by giving more time and thinking through and having a complete plan and making a grade center versus putting it together in a few months and rushing through it. I just think we're rushing into something that, it's not being thought out, and we have one superintendent, 2 principals, and how can we expect them to even do all that? And they still have every other job they have to do, and they still are expected to do all that.
They're superheroes.
God love them, but
we work at the leisure
you know,
board, so we'll do whatever it
but
takes.
your family.
That's for sure.
You can only do so much, and we can only expect them to do so much, and by continuously throwing more and more stuff on top of them, something's gonna give. So why would we rush it? And yes, I understand there's a dollar, and yes, I understand it's business, but business also means using your brain, making good sense. So by not rushing into something that could ultimately fail if you don't have enough time and effort to put forth into it. Like, let's take our time, use that year, get the whole thing planned out, do education on it, figure it all out, like Jennifer said, have the plan laid out, A through Z, done, and then educate everybody about it. Instead of saying, hey, we're gonna save you $300,000, we're gonna throw everybody, and this is gonna be done now, go, and then try to have it done. I don't get it.
So the only way you're going to get administration to actually devote time to do this, if the board gives them that direction to do that. Right now, I would be hesitant to give give the administration that direction because we can't afford it. They don't have the time to do it. And so, but you know, those are just things in the sense that we have a little bit more leeway in the sense. If you wanted to say from that 300,000 where we're gonna, you know, hire someone to help us with this decision, then I would be more leaning towards that. But in the long run, you know, and I'm not just saying in the next year or two, in the long run, the grade centers will be much more efficient out there when it comes down to dollar and cents. And so, I don't mean it to sound bad. It is going to be difficult on the parents to drop off the kids and to pick them up. That is a correct statement. But you know, we also have to look at those are the same parents that we're also helping them reduce their tax bill, or they're able to do other things with that money too. And so they do have a benefit from that. And so that's where, you know, all of us have to realize that it is a give and take. And our community came back and told us, we're not willing, you know, we want you to have these programs, but we're not willing to pay for them. You know, and so that's where it's difficult for us. And so parents are also taxpayers, and you know, they had the opportunity to vote also, and they did. You know, we got it was a 3-to-1 margin out there. So that's where the difference comes in, is that, you know, we are doing the most that we can with the amount of money that we have, with the resources that we have. We're maximizing our resources to make sure our children have a well-rounded, balanced plan. If we keep waiting and doing studies, it's just that things get prolonged. We're never going to get 100% of the people, or even 80% of the people to buy in. It just never happens, you know. And, you know, if you have, you know, 55%, 60% of the people, that's great. But you know, we're never going to have 100% of the people happy. There's always going to be someone who's going to be upset. And so that's where, you know, that's why we're in these positions. We're here to lead, and leaders make good decisions, and leaders make bad decisions. The question is that what can we learn from the decisions that were not so good in the last, you know, for me, the last 5 years or 6 years that I've been here, in a sense, and what did I learn from that? And you know, we needed to spend more time making sure that we didn't, we overspent, and we did. But you know, we justified it with the reasons that we have it, but now we went back to the community, we asked them to increase the amount that they gave us, the taxes, and they said no. The focus group came back and says, just give us the minimum. This is what they said. And so if we are looking out for the kids' best interest, which means to give them the most well-rounded programs that they have, it is the grade center, the scenario number 5, and we could do it in a much more efficient way. So, I'm talking for today, so I'm repeating myself.
I mean, go down and see what people are all feeling from the board, and which option, if it pass.
Sure.
Or are you all feeling that even if it does pass, that we still are gonna cut some, or?
Sure.
If it didn't pass, like if this is
Separate, I think
If
we
we-
just separate.
if it doesn't pass.
If it doesn't pass, whatever one's feeling on options 4 and 5, because those were the recommendations, and then do a second question around us. If it passes,
Well, I think there's 2 questions. The way I would frame it to the board is, do we believe that we need to postpone, for clarity of what we're asking for, do we believe that we need to postpone putting a question on the ballot for our buildings?
It depends if we do the 1.2 or 1.5. If we do the 1.2, then no, I think we need to go. If we do the 1.5 and balance the budget and offer the programs, then yes. So a little bit more complicated.
So,
ask the second question first.
okay, so do we believe that it would behoove us to ask for the 1.5 in lieu of the 1.25?
It's the same question, Chris. I guess the better.
I'm going
better-
backwards.
Yeah.
I'm going backwards, because if I ask for the 1.5,
Yes,
then
well,
I'll-
don't ask, no one ask for the 1.5. I guess where the first question comes in, if the referendum does not, if we're not successful in the referendum, do you prefer option number 4 or option number 5? I guess is the first question. Right?
That's what you had to do.
Next one.
Okay. We'll start off with you. would go number 5.
I would also go with number 5 because it preserves all the programs.
Doesn't pass, I don't know, I just don't think we need to hear, to put it in there, form.
I agree with you, Mike, the air collective development, this is the responsibility. So, me, our, this will be our position.
So,
5 would go.
5 is the would be next.
Very difficult to live, but at the same time,
So, all right, if the referendum does pass, are we willing to go to, so now that we're dealing with number 5, if the referendum does pass, are we willing to go to balance in the budget?
We need to specify.
To go with number 5 anyways.
All right, but we still, with the balance in the budget, you would have, let's see here again.
About 250 grand that you have to come up with. No matching. There's enough stuff in here you can do that without
Having to get
without
much
taking
anything
away
else.
from the kids. It would be like the junior high increasing class.
So even that first page of sports and
Yes.
all that would stay.
But, you know, what I would tell you, pick and choose, because some of that I think you would let go of some of it. I would be judicious, I would go through every one of those lines and say, because the one thing I know, scratch some things they would keep and some things they would. Some of those things on that list you might say would still be efficient, so let's do it. And I would encourage you. But you're right, sports can come back, but I would have to tell you to go through it line by
Each
line.
page,
Okay?
but it wouldn't be a cut of that.
Right, right.
Just out of curiosity on your stipends, considering number 4 and number 5, you have the 229 as the two numbers, but that wouldn't necessarily be the case going if we went into one building because you wouldn't have 2 sets of basketball coaches for coaches. So there will be a little bit more savings on the stipend side of that because the sport is split down, she was down to 1 team versus 2.
I did reduce it because it's some scenarios where they have great centers, they actually use that savings to provide other opportunities in areas and stuff. Well, now you've got half the kids that have the other kids to participate in those too, so it was providing more. But that's your decision. And you have to say that if it passes, if we ask for 1.5 and it passes, can we simply say that we will make a resolution or what have you, that we will work within the budget? How that looks, we will, you know what I mean, that will be, we will continue to work on that, whether that means 4, whether that means 5, whether that means a combination, you know what I mean, whether.
But I think it's a big difference if it passes and we're gonna do the race cars. You know,
Well,
I mean, if we're going
same-
out there saying, hey, let's pass a resolution, and by the way, we're still doing race cars, it's a big difference than,
But I
you know.
think the same that we're gonna work within the budget, I think what you're saying is this. If I can just come over here for real quick. What I would say is, if we're gonna do something like that, but that's saying right now, without worrying about all the scenarios, is in scenario 3 where it says full day art, music, industrial arts, program, sports, and then if I go, here, committee, learning center, from that list, that big list, you're going to make that, take whatever you need to from that list, fill in the 250, so it's a balanced budget. I mean, that's what I think you're saying, because that's the list, that's the big list. And besides that big list, those are the things that would be reduced that you could play with. There's another list, which is like the class size, that's worth 250. So there's a big long list of things